no. Missing what harness? What? Of course, right at the start of the stream. Baseline. The two necessary connections are there. 3 radio, then the best choice is to use the factory subwoofer control. In play, you didn't have to wire any connections. I have a customer who's a little confused. They're not sure what they're really doing, and sometimes you get people who buy stuff and don't read past the description sometimes, I guess because they get excited or they might have a problem they're trying to solve.
Just to summarize,
so then they just buy it, don't see how to install it or what to do, and then sometimes they're missing information they need and they get upset, which is understandable. Like, the amp should come with instructions, but the video is on the page, so that you know. But again, not really his fault. We should be sending instructions with the amp. Okay, let me pull up the chat because I definitely don't have that up. Switch can't.
to slide my amplifier out. So when
Why does it not say I'm live? That's whack. I want to go to my channel. There we go.
to slide my amplifier out. So when
Let's close that up.
Why does it not say I'm live?
Yo, what's up? My focus is a little off here. Okay, yeah. This same customer just answered and said everything's working really good and he's happy. So again, it's just sometimes that little bit of information that's missing that really throws some people off because they're not 100% sure with what they're supposed to be doing, and as they're figuring out, they might get frustrated. Hold on, I'm echoing for no reason. Okay, yeah, he watched the video, so we're good. Alright, so what's up, YouTube? What's up, KC? Short stream tonight, hopefully, because I shouldn't have a ton of orders to do, but we will see. Let me make sure this is live. Play that, and mute that. And let's get to work. Alright, so nothing really crazy tonight. We're just doing some orders. I gotta start with a camera harness. Let me move you just a little bit. And let me check my focus. 1 sec. Yeah, maybe right there is good. Okay. So what we're going to make right now, in the top right corner, you should see it. I know it's tiny, but this is what we're making right here. A factory backup camera retention harness. This works for the TL and the MDX. We're doing it for an MDX real quick. So this harness is actually pretty simple. Um, the only thing is that you need the right power converter. So as you can see the picture, you can see this right here. This is the connector where the factory camera is going to plug into, because this is to keep your factory backup camera. So it's going to plug right in here, and then this will give you the RCAs to go for the camera, and then power and ground. This has to be connected in order for it to work, because this is the power. So this takes 12 volts in and then gives the factory camera 8 volts to work with, and then this is the factory camera feed, and you attach an RCA and you run that up to your new stereo, because this is going to attach either in the trunk or underneath the passenger side, underneath the driver's seat is what I meant to say. What's up, Angel? That bracket came out good. So your order went out today. You should check the tracking. You should have gotten a text message. And then UPS should be updated. Usually by 10 o'clock they update, so you should have an update right now. The customer that was tight before now is like, thank you so much. This worked so well. I'm so happy. It's funny, man, but that's just how it goes sometimes. You gotta be patient and you gotta be understanding, because this is their first time, you feel me? So like, I may have installed that amp personally in like 30 different Acuras, but this is their first time installing, so they're not gonna know everything I know. And sometimes when they watch the video, they skip through it and they miss like an important part, so they just have to go and revisit it when they're done. Alright, so we need to terminate this. That's this connector right here and these terminals. So these 4 wires get terminated, and then we need a ring terminal because it needs a ground.
Like an important part.
Alright, so let me grab my crimper, which I thought would be, oh, it is here, nice. Alright. So these little terminals are really hard to crimp. I know you're probably not getting the best image on stream, but since they're really particular, you have to be real careful when you go to crimp. Alright, cool, nice. So you gotta be real careful, and you gotta get the wire in there very nicely. These crimps are super important. And hard to see. This isn't my favorite crimp, but it should be alright. So let me see. Yeah, it's holding, but I don't like it. It's just like personal preference. So I'm gonna cut it down. When you do this though, now you screwed yourself, because one's gonna be tight and one's gonna be loose. So you have to cut both down and restrip. So let me grab this again. Alright, here we go. Should have a better crimp this time. Let's go. That's a much better crimp. I don't know if you can really make out because of the zoom, but solid crimps over here. And yeah, these are done by hand because of the power inverter. There's some harnesses that come already made, but these you have to make by hand, because this power inverter is the key to everything. God damn it, man. I don't like this crimp. See? That came out with some pulling. No one's gonna pull that hard unless they're really an a-hole about it, but it's, you gotta, good crimps only, man. Good crimps only. Alright, that felt good. That felt like that was a good crimp. Alright, that's holding. It's hard to see under light. Okay, so that's good. Then we need to crimp these right here. decent crimp, not the best, but gets the job done. It won't come loose. Let's try to get a little better crimp on this one. Alright, that felt a lot better. Yeah, it's a nicer crimp. Let me just check this. Nah, I'm just gonna pull it out, man. I'm pretty sure I can pull it out. Yep. Crimp real quick. So any crimp you can pull out with enough force. It's just the better the crimp is, the less likely you'll pull it out. And I don't know, I just don't want someone to have a problem, because when you go to install this, it's a real pain in the ass to then like, oh, this didn't work, I have to get a new harness, and then that delays your install. Or like if you're already at your wit's end, already pissed off about something, and then this doesn't go right, people just get even more upset. Alright, so that goes there, that goes there. And while the connector is the same, like this says set MDX, this pinout is for an MDX. The TL pinout is different. So the connector is the same, but the pins, where the wires go, are different, and that's why we need to know if it's a TL or an MDX. But all right, that should be in there good. All those are straight. That's good. See, that one came right out. That's why you always gotta double check. Make sure that that doesn't happen. This has a little metal tab. That's what secures it in place. Sometimes when I'm messing with them, I press them down on accident, so then they don't lock in place. So now it's locked. Now it's not coming out. That one's good. Now if I yank this like super hard, it's gonna come out, but it, for just regular use, like you're unplugging and plugging it in, it'll hold up fine. Then we're gonna hit it with 2 zip ties. This is to help distribute the load. So what will happen sometimes is somebody will be running a wire and they'll pull only the RCA, so you're only putting stress on 2 wires. But the zip tie is going to also make it so you pull all the wires and put less stress on just those 2. At least that's the theory behind it. In practicality, if you really measure it, how much of a difference it is, who knows, but it does help. It has kept harnesses together before. That's why we always add a little zip tie, just to help distribute that load. And now we gotta add our ground loop. So I'm gonna take one of these. One of these should be fine. Put this back, put this back, put this back. These 2 are trash. So if you have an Acura TL 0708, you want to keep the factory backup camera on your aftermarket radio. So you got the Tesla screen, you got the Android screen, you got a traditional doubled in, and you don't want the camera to show up on the factory navigation. You want it to show up on your new screen. This is the harness you would use. You would plug it in the trunk, and then you'd have to run the RCA up to the dash. And I'll show you what the RCA looks like because it comes with this. But now we have a different crimper. This is good for these kind of terminals. And trick to this is you take some wire and insulation and you fold it back, because sometimes when you crimp this, you crimp too hard and it breaks through the wire or it'll break through the insulation. So by bunching them up like that, it gets a solid crimp and neither one breaks. Alright, cool. So then there's a little crimp on this, and this is crimped nicely. It's not going to come out. And now this harness is ready to go. Let me just grab the other harness that goes with this. So this harness right here is what we'll plug in here, and then red to red, and yellow you have to wire tap your reverse wire. We have a video on how to do this on the MDX, but it will also work for the TL. The instructions are the same, the wiring is the same, it's just the navigation drives in a different location. So instead of underneath the seat like in your MDX, and your TL is in the trunk. But both of these come together, so really all you need is your aftermarket radio. This will take care of everything else. Do you only do Acura audio? Acura and some Hondas. So like back in New York, the installation shop used to work on everything. So we did a Jeep that was pretty cool with a bunch of DS18 stuff, but we used to do regular remote starts and installs on all cars. So I have background knowledge about like different cars, and I can help you with a different car. But all our products and like our support phone number and all that stuff is Acura and Honda only, because that's what we specialize in. But like I could do a traditional install on any car kind of thing. Sure, what's up? We are Kenwood Stereo. First, just let me know the model and then your question. Card. Alright, let's see where this is going real quick. Oh, hold on, I just want to see where I'm at on video. No, so you only see my chin. Alright, so did I mess up my video? Let me just double check again. You kind of only see my chin still, but I'll just come down a little lower. Alright, so now I gotta ship this. Where's this going to? This is going to California, and 555. It's gonna take 5 business days. It's going to cost $684. Okay, the guy paid $12.99, so let's upgrade his shipping. Go priority mail. Comes to 11. Okay, and 2 days. Let's go, baby. Instead of 5, 2 days. Just because the only reason this works out this way is because this package is so light. If it was a sub, it'd cost $16 to ship, and it'd have to be 5 days. Because if you try to upgrade the shipping, it's like $32. Can't. Okay. Oh, hold on. This tape job isn't that good. I'll put another extra piece of tape right here. Alright, I got a couple easy orders. Amp bypass, integration harness. Yeah, alright, let me grab those 2 real easy things. I'll be right back. Damn, this guy is diabolical, bro. Just sitting in the garage. Are they the old school single DIN ones that you could detach the face and you took the face and the radio? I had an old car for a while. It worked perfectly. I recently installed my Jeep and I was working good for about a week, and I said issues with speaker wires, please check connections. Ah, man. So Kenwood radios have internal fault detection. And when your speaker wires touch ground, it will make that error. So what could be happening, I don't know if you drive your Jeep off-road or anything, but it could be moisture in the door and then it's shorting your speaker wire somewhere, or there could be your speaker actually shifted, or one of the cables came loose and it's touching metal. So you got to check all your speaker wires. But sometimes you'll go down the rabbit hole of checking all the speaker wires and they're all fine, and it's the radio that has failed internally and it's giving you an issue. I've seen that happen where there's no like result. Like if you look through Reddit, people have like, at least there's multiple posts of people encountering that issue. Your best bet is to bench test it. So like go through the wiring in your car, check each speaker out. So your Jeep, let's say, has 4 speakers, disconnect 3, play just one, ride around with just one for a couple of minutes, see if the error ever comes up. Then connect another one, ride around, see if the error comes up. Connect the third one, and then you'll find which one it is if one of them is bad. If it just happens with just one connected, you gotta pull the radio, bench test it, so put it on a bench with power and ground. It's not really a bench. You're gonna put it somewhere you can put power and ground and connect a speaker to it without anything else. So your car won't be involved. It's just power and ground and a speaker, and that'll tell you for sure if the radio's busted. Because if you get power and ground from a battery and then connect a speaker, or don't connect any speakers, just power and ground, you turn the radio on, it gives you the error, you know it's your radio and it's shot. And it happens with Kenwoods. I'm not sure exactly what the fault is, but I just know it happens over time. Alright, so this guy said, yo, you could try something on eBay, man. You might get like 10, 12 bucks. If they're older radios, there are people who have like a certain, they might have had a certain radio at a certain time period in their car and they're trying to recreate that memory, and they'll buy that radio. Like, I know the Pioneer radios that have the little dolphins on them, like they sell for a lot of money. There's just memorabilia and nostalgia stuff that gets sold. Alright guys, so this harness right here, you have an accurate TSX 04 to 08. There's a guy watching yesterday who had a 07 TSX. If you wanted to add subs, this harness makes it real easy. So your factory amplifier has a plug that goes into it that looks just like this. It's a blue plug like this. It plugs into the factory amp. That's the signal coming from the factory radio to the amp. It's this little plug. It's 14 pins. What this does is it intercepts that signal. So what used to plug into the amp plugs in here, and then this plugs back into the amp. So this is attached to the car now. And then you get the RCA signal from the rears. So this is your rear subwoofer and your rear door speaker. And then this is your remote wire. So a real easy way to add subs. This is a low level signal from 1 to 3 volts. It is full range. It will have some factory EQ stuff, but just with a little bit of you playing around with the settings on your amplifier, you could probably combat what this does. And if you just want boom, this is going to give you boom. And real simple, this over an LLC, I think it's 24 bucks, and it has everything you need, and you can install it. You don't even have to pull that much, just the center console that has like the 4 clips. You pull that out, plug this in, run your RCAs. We have a whole video on how to use this. It's starting to pick up now. We've had it for a while, but I think finally people are trying to finally understanding how it's used. There's a 1-star review for this because someone tried to plug it in the wrong part. Like they tried to plug it in behind the radio and they're like, it doesn't fit, it doesn't work for my car. We reached out to them and we told them, hey, it does work for your car, this is where you plug it in. Can you please like verify? He's like, oh yeah, it works great, awesome. Oh, can you please update your review? Yeah, I'll do it. Never did it. It just happens. And then if you want to do more than subs, you got a TSX. This is the actual amp bypass. So I think we shipped one of these yesterday. We probably ship one of these a day. This has all the speaker wires in your TSX. So normally, like old school methodology is like, hey, I'm gonna run a wire from the front left door and then out of the door down the side of the car to the trunk, and in the trunk I'm going to put my amp, and I'm going to do that for every door. So you're going to run 8 speaker wires to every door. Very cumbersome, very involved, and then you have to sometimes like drill the connector for the door, and that gets very overwhelming very fast. If you're doing like 200 watts, 300 watts, 500 watts into a door, then definitely do that. But if you want an easier time and you're only doing like 100, 125 watts or less than that, then this works really well because you could use all the factory wiring in the car that leads to every speaker and just make these longer or hook up your amp right here. I'm going to make a plug and play amp in a little bit, so I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. But this has your tweeter wires. So this right here is your tweeter pair. So these 2 wires, positive and negative, lead to your front right tweeter. These two wires, positive and negative, lead to your front right door speaker, and then the pattern continues: front left door speaker, front left tweeter, and then your rear door speaker, your rear deck speaker, etc. And then on top of that, you also get power, ground, and accessory. So if you want to turn out like a line converter or something, a DSP or something, there's power, ground, and everything right here. And then if you're going to keep the factory radio, then this connector is just like this one that we talked about earlier, but instead of only giving you the rears, it has all the connections so that you can get front left, right, rear left. Something about the TSX most people don't know is even though you have those 8 speakers, the factory radio only puts out 4 channels of audio, which are these 4: front right, rear left, and then the amplifier creates all that stuff. So these products are very, I think they're worth it for installations because of the time they save you. And you don't, along with like having wires so you don't have to cut the factory wire, it helps you decipher which wire is which instead of you sitting there trying to figure out which wire it is. Yeah, Austin, they're probably going to want to repair the radio, and I think you might want to reach out to SJ right here and have him sell you one of his old Kenwood radios that he stole. Because it's probably that radio shot. It's just, that's how it happens. Let's ship these. Where's this one going? This is an eBay order, and this is going to New Mexico. Let me put that in a little black one. So I'm not even gonna look. No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, this is an eBay order, so I like to send them in black envelopes, so that right away, if I have a customer call me and they're having an issue with their order or something happened with their order, one of the first questions we can ask is, "Oh, what color was the envelope your order came in?" And then we'll know, because sometimes like people won't know the information for the order, so this helps us track it down, especially on eBay. Like they will be like, "Oh, I ordered it off eBay." Or they won't even say that. They'll be like, "Oh, I ordered it online." You're like, "Okay, where'd you order from?" "Oh, online." "Oh, okay. What was it? What's the name of the thing?" "Oh, I don't remember. It's this wire harness." And then you have to play like guess who of which harness they ordered. So if they tell me, "Oh, it's in a black envelope," I know there's only like 9 or 10 harnesses on eBay that it could be. And that's not always black. It's a smaller envelope, usually like this one, instead of the big one that we were using yesterday. Right, this is going to New Mexico. It's going to take 3 days, and it's $6. Alright, where's my amplifier bypass? This is on eBay also, and this is going to Georgia. Alright, let me get this one out of the way first. Yeah. See, this is a ridiculously sized envelope, but we do have the 8x12, which is the right size. This thing is humongous, but we gotta use them. And I said it yesterday, like, the people who supply us with our shipping supplies sent the wrong thing, but since right now we're shipping the shipping supplies to us, shipping it back is way too expensive for that big a box, so we're just using them and just folding them up. Provides extra padding. So why not? Cool, I'll print this label. So this is going to Georgia, padded envelope, delivery. Hey, this guy will have it in 2 days, let's go. I like for people to get their stuff sooner, because how do I explain this? Like, I have less anxiety knowing that you got your stuff and it worked. So I hate when we have a bunch of packages in transit, because there's no reason for your stuff not to work, but all different kinds of things happen. So like, If this has to take a week to get to you, I have a week of anxiety to know if you completed your install or not, or if you use this or not. So if the sooner you get this and the sooner you use it, the less anxiety and better I feel, because I know the product worked and I don't have to worry about your case. Like, you're happy it worked out and you got what you wanted. Okay, there's another bypass that I missed. What is this for? TSX. Let me check eBay real quick. One sec. So yeah, if you guys didn't know, if you're in Canada or in another country, you want to buy something from us, our website doesn't have a lot of countries. So eBay is where we have some products listed, and we do have international shipping enabled on eBay, and it's also cheaper than our online shipping to Canada, because they use a different program than us. So like, we use a faster shipping method with guaranteed delivery, and eBay uses like their economy shipping method. So the difference makes theirs cheaper, but makes theirs take longer. And sometimes if the package doesn't get to you, they just refund you their money, because they just get lost like that with that shipping method. Alright, I just got an email. What does this guy say? Turn the dial. Okay. Is that black box shining? Is the LED on the box blinking orange? Can you verify the 20? No, it's a 36 pin connector with the green, black, and brown wire. Does not have any bent pins. Please unplug it and check, and then reseat carefully. That is the connection that controls the factory amplifier volume. Okay. Hopefully that guy. If I'm awake at this time and someone sends an email regarding an installation, I assume they're doing the installation now. If they're doing the installation now, I try to reply right away, because then you're stuck till tomorrow. And my wife hates that I do that. She's like, just go to sleep. Like, people can wait till the morning. But if you're in the middle of the installation, I like try to answer right away. But if you're like asking me a question about what's the best this or that, then you're gonna get a reply in the morning. I'm not gonna answer that right away, just because that can wait. This guy doesn't look like he hooked up some stuff right. Like, this connector looks loose to me. But we will see, one step at a time. Okay, let me check the chat. I haven't checked the chat. Sorry, SJ, I missed your question for exactly when you asked it. So if you order through eBay for international shipping will charge you, and then if the package gets lost, eBay ends up refunding you. That used to happen to us, and that's why we had to upgrade our shipping method, because we would ship something like this in a padded envelope. I would ship to you. It would take like 14 days, but it would only cost like $20, or yeah, like $20. And then sometimes it would just get lost. And then because it's from USPS to Canada Post, there's no like course of action, because the post office is going to say, oh, they already have it. Canada Post has it. And Canada Post doesn't have to answer to you. So there's really no recourse. The package is lost and there's nothing you can do about it. And then the customer wants their stuff. You don't want to pay for shipping and the item again. So then you refund their first purchase and they're upset because they didn't get the stuff. So that was a very terrible situation. We have to stop that. But now people think that the Canada shipping is too expensive. But that's just what it costs to ship reliably to Canada without losing packages. Like right now, I had a customer call me very upset about the shipping. He's like $45 to ship these little harnesses. So you gotta be kidding me. Is there not another shipping method you have? I told him about the economy shipping. I'm like, we set something up for you, but if your package gets lost, like, we're not refunding you any money. So I had him send me a text message from his phone number that's linked to his credit card saying, hey, I authorize you to ship with this shipping method. If the package is lost, I hold all responsibility. I will reorder and repay because we're not taking the hit on that. I explained to him he wanted to save the money and hopefully it works out. Fingers crossed nothing gets lost, but too many packages have gotten lost in that shipping method for me to use it anymore. Nah, it's time zones, really. I agree with you. I be thinking that. I'm like, bruh, like, sometimes the support phone number, it doesn't have a auto attendant. So our main number has an auto attendant, but the support number doesn't. So people will call at like 3 in the morning, and sometimes I'll forget, like, because I can get those phone calls on my personal cell phone. I forward them there if I'm like doing something, so I don't want to carry around the other phone. So it'll be like 3 in the morning and someone will be calling and the phone will be ringing. And my wife be like, who is that? And I'm like, bro, some customer who thinks he has an audio emergency at 3 in the morning. But it's really someone in freaking California who's trying to get something done because they just got it in the mail today and they want to install their new shiny thing. So time zones. But sometimes it'd be people really tweaking, like, yo, what are you doing trying to call a company this late? Like, I would not think to call a company that late, but everyone has their own thing, I guess. All right, so this is going to Florida. This is going to Kissimmee. So this guy will have it in 2 days. He has an Acura TSX and he's bypassing his amp. Sorry, I should have told you what this was. So this is the amp bypass. Like I just talked about the TSX 04 to 08 TSX. This is the one for the 09 to 13 TSX. Non-navigation though. That's super important. You can't have navigation to bypass your amp if you're going to keep the factory radio. If you're going to go aftermarket radio, you can bypass the amp, but on the factory radio with navigation, there is no bypass. So this 09 to 13 Acura TSX factory amplifier bypass, and the same thing I said earlier, it just gives you access to all the wires in one central location. Okay, alright, let's see what's next. We got a pair of speakers. People always ask about those, so let's do those real quick. So we got a pair of JBL speakers for a 2006 Acura TL. Alright, so JBL speakers, 2006 Acura TL. I need to get the other stuff. If you're going to ask me which speakers I recommend, I'm always going to say JBL. If JBL doesn't float your boat, then I'm going to say Infinity. So these are the tweeter harnesses. These connect to the little tweeters that are here. And then these are the tweeter cups. They hold the tweeter. Let me see if I can just open this without opening it, so to say. So all the tweeter components are always in the top, and you just slide them out like this. And this is the tweeter I'm talking about. So I'm not actually going to open it. Obviously, I'm not going to do that to a customer. But this has these terminals that line up with these terminals, and the connection is plug and play. And then your base blocker, your capacitor is right here. So you don't have to install these? That's a very common question we get. Do I need to install these when I do my JBL speaker set? And no, your tweeter harness is going to plug right into your tweeter. This is going to protect your tweeter, so these don't have to get connected. The only reason to connect these or use them is if your tweeter is too bright, they call it, or it's bothering your ear. And this has an attenuation where you can lower them. You just press this little switch. And then also the crossover here for the tweeter is a little bit more intense, so it will quiet the tweeter a little bit as well. But normally we tell people not to install these. And then the reason for the tweeter cup is because the tweeter fits right in here. And then this mounts to the factory mounting. So then it makes your installation real easy. You put your tweeter in your tweeter cup, you put this into the factory housing, and it just snaps in. So that's when you order the JBL speakers from us, this is one of the things you get: tweeter harnesses, tweeter cups, and then you're also gonna get the spacers. I'm gonna grab those next. Come on. There. Come on, don't do this to me. Chill, homie. There we go. And then if you do buy JBL speakers or any set of anything you buy from us is going to come with a 1-year warranty from that manufacturer. They're going to ask that you reach out to us. So like if you buy these and then reach out to JBL, they're going to ask you who you bought them from. When you tell them you bought them from us, they're going to go, okay, your warranty claim has to go through them. So just know that if you blow these or something happens where one of these is not functioning, you're covered. You have a 1-year warranty. We just have to do the exchange with us. You don't reach out to JBL directly. I only found one spacer. Yeah, I think so. So I got my other spacer. I have another set of spacers I need to ship. What's up, brother? Alright, so in here are these little inserts. So this is what removes the necessity for you to drill into your factory metal. You'll put this insert into the door, and then this screw screws into the insert, and then the way they go or they end up in the car is like this screw will go in there, and then this will be in the door secured, and then with these little screws you screw them onto here, and that's what holds the speaker in place. So all that hardware is in here, and then the harnesses for the speakers are in here. The only thing I need to add to this little baggie is the foam. But again, when you order the speakers from us, all this stuff is included, so everything you need to install the speakers is all in one package. You don't have to worry, did I get this or did I get that? open some new foam. Lifestyle is driving you crazy. Come on. Okay. Cut that down. Come on. Normally we have pre-cut foam. It's one of those things I messed up and didn't order on time, so we ran out before we got our new supply. But they'll be here by the middle of the month. So right now I have to manually cut these. So the reason why I'm cutting them with a scissor is so I cut them flush, because you want them to meet nicely. Alright, cool. So now we throw these in here. Come on, you muffle. And then this is your plug and play set of speakers right here, all the hardware and then the actual speakers. You can just buy this stuff if you need it, but if you're gonna get these speakers, you're on the factory amp, you're planning to buy JBLs anyways, it just makes sense to get it together. If you're gonna do like a bigger install, you want different speakers, it might make sense to just pick this stuff up, or you can just pick up some pieces. Like most people buy just the spacers because they don't need this, they do their own tweeter setup. But the JBL speakers, really easy to install, sound really good on your factory amplifier or plug and play amplifier. Always my number one recommendation when it comes to speakers. Yeah. What? You don't live in an HOA or anything like that? I know there's like HOAs have limitations what you can do, and I'm sure if he's consistently doing that, like no one has said anything. Last night we got a bunch of pollen, and my car, like my Acura tail and the family car, all are covered in pollen. And I really thought when I came home today, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wash them, and then I ran out of time. So I could see myself going outside to wash them right now. Because now that I said it to you guys and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, the car looks terrible covered in that yellow stuff. I want to wash it. But yeah, I really got to be tweaking to go out there right now and try to wash it. But sometimes the only time you have time, man. Sometimes the only time you have time. But yeah, JBL speakers work for all the cars listed in the drop down. So it'll work. These will work on almost any Acura. The difference that the Acura will be is the spacer. So like your MDX has a different spacer, but we ship you the right spacer if you're ordering for certain cars. Alright, so now these go right here. This goes under some paper. Again, sorry about the tape noise. This is nicely packed. It is a little lumpy, but has good padding. It's not moving anything. Let's get it shipped. I'm gonna say these weigh 5 pounds. And then where's this guy? This guy's in Virginia. Paid $9 for shipping. This box is $14.86. I'm gonna have to weigh it because it's gonna come close. Yeah, he paid $9.99. It came out to $9.97. And this box is $1.25. And yep, that's the best I can do. I really need to enable like better calculated shipping costs. But what the hell? The same guy ordered another bracket? Oh no, different guys ordered different brackets again. Alright, cool. So that's set to go. Alright, let's do that 4-channel amp because that's something a lot of people like to ask about. And this one's going to Canada. Alright, so actually, before that 4-channel amp, let's do these spacers. These are going to California, 2006 TSX. All right, cool. So this is, we'll get to talk about something pretty cool. One sec, let me grab it. Alright, so your TSX doesn't come with these from the factory. Instead, the speaker has like this weird metal. I don't know why Acura thought this was a good idea. But if you ever worked on your TSX, ever pulled the speakers out, or you've seen any of our speaker videos, the actual speaker has like this metal spring almost that you push down and you lock against the door and it keeps it from going anywhere. So it's metal on metal and it works. When you want to take the speaker out, you push it down, you pull back like this and you lift it up. That's not a good method, and they changed that because they knew it wasn't a good method. So what we do is we send you this clip, and this clip installs from the back. So people think they clip it in like this, and it's not. You reach in the hole of the door, you go in like that, and you clip like this, so that this ends up against the spacer like that. And then this has a metal screw. We send you a little metal screw for it. The other thing with the TSX, along with this, that you know you're probably only gonna get this from us, is that a lot of people think, and it makes sense because in your newer Acuras, this square ridge right here is supposed to line up with this. So when you install this in the car and you line up the top hole with this, you screw this in. These two holes that are these through holes, where the hell are they? Right here. These two holes where my two fingers are don't line up, and that confuses a lot of people. Because that's not how it goes for your TSX. Your TSX is the one weird one where this gets flipped and this goes up here. Hold on, where is it? Yep. So this ends up going like this, and then these two are the ones that end up lining up. So it's the interior holes, and that confuses a lot of people. We have a video on it clarifying it, but I just wanted to show it to you guys because yeah, it can get confusing. And it trips a lot of people up. We get a lot of phone calls like, hey, I think you sent me the wrong stuff, or you sent me the wrong spacers, or this isn't lining up. And people get very upset. And then you're like, oh, can you just flip it 90 degrees? And then they twist it all the way, and they're like, no, it's the same thing. And then you send them a picture, or you send them the video, and then they're like, oh, I didn't see that. And you're like, yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had a better way of communicating that earlier so that you wouldn't have had this issue. Let me grab the phones. But that's only for the TSX that happens. All your newer Acuras come with this clip from the factory, and your other Acuras don't use it. Only the TSX is like, I guess, like the where that design came to be. Like, they're like, okay, this clip sucks, we need to change it to something else, and they came up with this instead of the metal ridge that the speaker has. Ship this. I understand, KC. I was thinking about starting another channel about like entrepreneurship and like development. Like, so I went to school to be a software developer, and I know software, and I like to do it. So there's like a couple little things that I've done that I think would be beneficial to other people to know, and like especially like if you're kind of like running your own business or working on a business and doing development, like you're not just working on code like websites and stuff for like showcasing or story. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I thought about starting a channel revolving around that stuff, but I'm like, what's the point? Like, who's gonna watch that when there's a million other channels just like that? And I'm no one special. Like, what? Why would they watch me? But I don't know. Maybe I'll just make the videos for myself. But it's just making videos is work, man. Like, you have to film, edit. It's hard that you'll just go through a whole video and make it and not want to cut something out. Like with the Acura stuff, the only reason it works is because there's a car here. You see me working on a car, you're learning information about a car or something you're trying to do. But if I was just like, oh hey, I have an Acura, listen to me rant, who would want to watch that? Low-key hungry right now. What's a good late night snack? Some cereal? Nah, I don't want no cereal right now. Hit that McDonald's drive-thru real quick. Alright, so this is going to Panorama City in California, and this is an 886, and just USPS ground, regular ground, which is saying it's going to take 5 business days. It's $12 already. Well, $11.75 already. So this guy is going to have to wait the full 5 days. Sometimes it's a little longer than that, but the website, what he chose at checkout is 4 to 7 days, so he's gonna get it within the window. He might actually get it a little early because it's shipping the same day. Technically, he just ordered it, but that's what it comes down to. The size and the weight of the package is gonna determine if we can help you with the shipping or not. And most of the time, we can't. Most of the time, the shipping you pay for is the shipping you're gonna get. What is this? Harness. Let's do that 4-channel amp. So last night I was showing you guys the bracket and how shitty they came out. I have not checked how these new ones came out. I was running around this morning, I totally forgot, so we might not be able to ship this right now if that bracket is bad. Alright, they don't look as bad as the ones from yesterday. They look a lot cleaner, so let's see. Remember, the ones from yesterday didn't want to snap into place, and then they were mad flimsy. Alright, so let's go see if this actually snaps in. That's the wrong side. So this slides into this to lock it. And you see how easy that slid compared to yesterday. So the print is good or better. My lines look better. Still have the same flexibility I want. Let's try a stress test. Nope, still trash. So that already came loose. It's just not bonding well. So the person who helped me, because they had to 3D scan these, yeah, see, this isn't fitting right either. Alright, we're gonna do the wiring for this amp, and we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do about these. But the person who helped me, because I don't have a 3D scanner, helped me 3D scan the factory amp. They helped me design these, and I talked to them about what we could do to make this stronger here. He suggested just bringing it out a little bit. I think that should work. I don't think there's anything here that's going to get in the way, but we'll have that test. I asked him if he could work it up for me, and he's going to try to do it. Because if I would be honest with you, these I made and 3 or 4 days of just breaking my head on how to do stuff, because I don't know a lot of 3D modeling. I've gotten some stuff done, but it's just been sitting down and going to do it. And these are old. These we've been selling for a while, so I'm hoping he can handle it, because if I have to go back in and do this myself, it's going to take me a long time. I wonder how long this has been a defect, because it's holding. It's not breaking. And is it on all of them? No, because if it was on all of them, I feel like we would have heard it from customers. See, no, yeah, this one too. Yeah, they detach, but they don't break off. So most people probably don't even notice, to be honest. Damn. Alright, let me put these aside. That sucks. That needs to get fixed. But alright, let's talk about the amps. So the amps we sell that we carry for your Acura are MB Quartz, and they have the old amp and the new amp. The old amp has a different box. It has a gradient. The new amp has this forest back here. So if you get this box, you know you're good. And then we used to carry the Hyphonics amps. I'll show you real quick. So this is a mono block Hyphonics, but you can see the box is the same. The amp is relatively the same as well. I'll show you real quick. Again, this is a mono block, so this only does subwoofer. So that's this little guy right here, and then the actual 4-channel that does the 4 door speakers, or in your TSX all your speakers, is this guy. So you can see the size is the same. They're heavy little amps. They're really solid. The only thing with the Hyphonics amps, why we had to stop using them, is because they're not protected online. So like obviously we're in business to make money, and sometimes I would find these amps online for what I buy them for. And how would I make any money if what you can buy the amp for what I buy it for? And that happens all the time with the Hyphonics brand still. So we stopped carrying them. Also, these didn't get updated. Only the MB Quart amps did. So that also played a part. So it makes more sense to carry MB Quart amps. They're a little different. They have better price protection, and they were updated to get rid of that pop. These were never updated to get rid of the pop. So if you want a cheaper amp, 4-channel or the Hyphonics, you can use them. They work with our plug-and-play harnesses. The harnesses are the same, and these are a little cheaper, but the quality, at least for this series, I know Hyphonics makes good stuff, but at least for these series, they still have the pop, so keep that in mind. MB Quart's the way to go. You want to change all the speakers around, but I just want to change the 2 tweeters, front door speakers, center dash speaker for now. Alright, so the center dash speaker reconsider, because if you go plug and play amp or if you go with traditional 5-channel or 4-channel amp, you're not going to keep it. So it's not worth to spend $70 or so on it, I think, unless you're going to build like a surround sound type system with a specific amp. So really what you want is front door speakers, and that's it for now. JBL. We literally, if you rewind the stream, we just went over the JBL package. That's exactly what I recommend for your accurate TL. The tweeter cups, the harnesses, it makes installation real simple. We have a video. It's very old, but you can follow it to get your door panels on. And then in this video, I literally went by step kind of what you do. So JBL would be my recommendation to you. If for some reason you have something against JBL, then Infinity would be the best one. Alright, man. Have a good night, KC. Thanks for staying. I will... I still got another like 15 orders, so I'm going to be here for a while. Probably till 2 again. So have a good night. And then I'm going to get started on this harness real quick. It's also getting a little hot, so I'm going to turn on the AC I got in here. I got some shrimp for the sun. Alright, so for the TSX plug and play amp, the way you start this is you're going to take your tweeters and your woofers and wire them together. So here I have tweeter positive and woofer positive, and these are going to get twisted together, and they're going to go to my front right positive on my amp. So one step at a time, we'll get there. I'm just going to do this, prep this, and I'm doing this for all the speakers. So my front right woofer and tweeter go together, my front left woofer and tweeter, speaker, etc. Gonna go with, yeah, no worries, man. And then the way it goes, accurate TL, what I recommend, what's in my car, or was in my car. I'm doing an experiment right now, but what I recommend: JBL front speakers, JBL rear speakers, kicker sub, plug and play amp. That's a good system, around 150, 250, another 300, 550, another 100. Called like $800, or $700 to $800. Solid system for the price. You get good bass. It gets loud enough. You can use it on the factory radio or aftermarket radio. So that's what I recommend. If you want to go crazy loud, then you don't need that stuff. You can go with other stuff. But I think JBL front, rear speakers, kicker sub, plug and play amp, highly recommend. And it's a good system, at least to get you started. Or if not, for most people, that's really all they get, and it's like all they want. The only the only complaint I heard is like people like, damn, like I wish I had a 12, because it's a little 8, so even if you upgrade it, like it's not gonna shake like a 12. But you know, people always want a little bit more. But I always recommend that JBL speakers, kicker sub, plug and play amp. Alright, so right now, 04 to 08 Accurate TSX. This is the amp bypass harness. What we're doing is we're taking all the speaker wires for the matching speakers. So we're taking your tweeter and your door woofer, and those are two separate speakers, but we're combining them to one channel. And then we're taking your front right tweeter and front right woofer or door speaker, when combining those into one channel. So we're combining 4 channels to 2. We're doing the same for the rear, and that's why I'm twisting these together the way that I am. And you're just twisting the solid colors together. So there's 2 purples. You see it says surround R positive, rear right positive. You're twisting these 2 together and the negatives together. So you're going by color. You're just twisting by color because these are solid, so they have no stripe, and the negatives are going to have a black stripe. So basically, all the solid whites go together, all the solid grays go together, all the gray blacks go together, etc. You just keep going down the line. In this scenario, a 4-channel amp is going to power all the speakers, so there aren't going to be very good selections on crossover points. Normally you want a 6-channel amp to power all your speakers, but the plug-and-play amp and the limit, it's a 4-channel amp, and you have limitation of power and ground here, so you can only grab so much power from here. Like the factory is 20 amps, and that's what this is going to pull with all of these connected. So that's why the small amp. But you could use the same style with a way bigger amp, or just wire a little differently to install your own 5-channel, 6-channel, or 8-channel amp. Okay, I think I got them all. Nope, I'm missing one sec. So now all of these are together. This is what it's going to look like. So now I have 8 pairs. Before I had 16 pairs, condensed down to 8. And now these, I only have one set of each color. So I only have one set of gray. I only have one set of white blacks. I only have one set of purple blacks. I only have one set of white, one set of greens, etc. Now I'm going to match them up to this harness, and this harness has the same number of wires. It's 8 to 8, and you're just going to match by color. So the whites go to white, gray, black white goes to black white, gray goes to gray black goes to gray black, etc. Where's my heat shrink? I'm going to prep my heat shrink real quick. So I need 8 of these. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me add this heat shrink to this. Oh, boy, starting to get sleepy, man. Still hungry though. Alright. So that's good. Then these. If you've never seen heat shrink before, you're not sure what it's for. It's like electrical tape. It's just going to shrink when you apply heat, which allows it to really secure the exposed copper connection. These are actually, these heat shrinks, these pieces of heat shrink also have glue, so it really prevents anything to happening. Nothing's going to happen to the connection, no water or corrosion or anything, because they are tightly wrapped and also have glue to keep out elements. the weather elements, but not like it matters. In your car, you're not gonna get water or be exposed to salt in the air, etc. So it's just an extra thing to make sure that the connections are really secure. Alright, so now we're actually going to connect the harness. So we prepped this. Now we're going to take our white, our solid white. We're going to find our pairs of solid white. So right here, this is our solid white pair. It has two whites going to one. And we're going to take 2 to 1, if that makes sense. So you're going to take these two, twist them together. And then I need to cut this little strand at the end. Okay. And then I'm going to hit this with some solder real quick, just as an example. Okay. So this is how every connection is going to look. You're going to have 2 wires coming out of the blue plug to 1 wire going to the amp connection. Now we have to repeat that 7 more times. Then at the end, we'll slide the heat shrink over the connection. Apply some heat. And that's going to make the heat shrink and wrap tightly around the connection. And this is just replacing electrical tape so that you don't have to go and manually wrap it with electrical tape. And then the other thing with electrical tape is it can come loose. Since the heat made it shrink, it doesn't allow it to move. It's as tight as can be. And then on top of that, with the glue, it causes it to really stay in place. But all right, let me repeat that now for all of these. Right here. Positive. And then this is positive purple. You got to make sure that you do these exactly by color. If you mess the coloring up and then you plug it in, the amp's going to go into protect. It's not going to like it. Or you could damage the speaker. So you just want to be careful that you color match correctly. You don't want to make sure you don't do a purple to a green or a green to a white or something like that. If you flip the polarity, it's just going to sound terrible. So like, let's say you did green to green black, it's just going to sound bad. So you want to make sure you keep all your colors straight. Oh, what the hell is coming apart? All right. So now all those are together. We got to hit them with some solder real quick. And if you don't know what solder is, that's this stuff. This is a soldering iron or soldering iron, or whatever you want to call it. This just gets really hot and melts this stuff. This stuff melts into the metal of the little wire strands, or the copper, whatever you want to call it. So it's going to melt into those little strands and bond them together so they can't come apart. So this just makes the connection, I wouldn't say unbreakable, but like you can't pull it apart. So like if you just twist wires together, you put a little stress to them, they'll come apart. When you solder wires together, they can't come apart anymore. Like they're bonded together. So all those are soldered. Now let's get this heat shrink all the way down. Cover each one. You want to make sure you use the right size heat shrink. I have cut the wrong before, and then when you go to slide it over, nothing will slide over, and then you have to use tape, and then if you're sending it to a customer, it looks terrible. So then you end up just redoing it. So make sure you're using the right heat shrink. If you're doing it for yourself, it's not the end of the world, because you could just use tape, no one's gonna see it. But like if a customer's gonna install this and it just looks like a taped up mess, I feel like that's gonna put him off. Like, why does this look so ghetto? Alright, cool. So all those are connected now. We still have these three we need to connect. We have black, blue, and yellow, and those are going to match to red, black, and blue. We'll do that next. Right now we're going to apply heat shrink on these. We're going to apply heat to this heat shrink. Alright, cool. So all those are done. Now we're going to take care of these. Again, red to yellow, black to black, blue to blue. I got a question for you. As an adult, at what time do you stop eating, if there is a time to stop eating? So like, let's say you had dinner at 8, 7, you're still up, you're hungry. At what point do you go, nah, I can't eat now, it's way too late? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is there no limit? I'd like to know your answers. My big back, I want to say there's no limit, but like you can't eat and then go to sleep. So like if it's like 1 in the morning and you're hungry, hold on, I didn't put heat shrink, almost right. So yeah, so like let's say you ate at 8, it's 1 a.m. You're like, damn, I'm hungry. You're looking through DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever it is, or you might be thinking about something you left in the fridge. What time is it too late to go look for that? Is it already too late? You should be asleep, you shouldn't be thinking about food? Or you're like, nah, it's still 1, I could eat? Or do you have like the rule with yourself where you're like, nah, only dinner, I'm not gonna eat anything else, I'll eat in the morning, I could have some ice as a snack? Because the thing is, if you do decide to eat, then you're not going to go to sleep right away. Like, if you eat at 1, you're probably not going to go to sleep for another hour. I mean, unless you stuff yourself. Like, if you get something crazy and then devour it and then knock out. But that's super rare. Nah, man, I can't do that. That nature calls. Like, I agree. My big back would, but I do need to get healthier, so I'm trying to like hold off. But I want to know like what's like a natural thing. So I feel like, yeah, Angel, I feel like 11:30 is like natural. Like, okay, like I'm not gonna eat past this time. It's not good for me. It's not good for my body, and also it's not gonna allow me to get good rest. I feel like you need to build those habits so that you can live a long, healthy life. Like, yeah, every once in a while you might screw up, you know, like. Might have a late night snack, but I feel like it can't be like something you do all the time. Alright, cool. Alright, so we got these 3 twisted together. Did I put heat shrink on all of them? Nope. See, I'm talking way too much, about to screw this up. On these, it's not the end of the world if you forget the heat shrink, because you can cut them. But sometimes, if you cut one, you gotta cut all of them. Otherwise, you get like this weird thing where like one wire is longer than the rest, and it just does not look good. And then there's like tension on one wire, so then when they go to install, they can pull it. Guy said never too late. Hey yo, my big back friend, chill, man, chill. Can't be eating too late. But sometimes you got it, man. Sometimes you gotta take that run, you know. That 2 a.m. McDonald's run. A little 10-piece. Large fries. At 1 a.m. That's the limit. For me, it used to be when Chipotle closes, because Chipotle closes at 11. So I'm like, alright, if Chipotle's closed. But sometimes, man, you have that leftover in the fridge, or you got something in the fridge, and you go for it. Like right now, my wife left Panda. We got Panda Express for dinner. We didn't have time to cook tonight. We're like running around all day. So we got Panda Express for dinner, and we got like bigger plates, because I got a bigger bat. And she didn't finish all her food. She left some of her food. So I'm like, I could have that. That don't sound bad right now. I had a bigger plate and I'm still hungry now. But it's because I didn't eat lunch. I didn't have time today. So we were running around. So I don't like to eat when you're doing stuff, because then then you feel bloated. You just don't feel good. And you still got stuff to do. So I like to eat at the end of the day. Not like end of the day, but like when I know I'm not going to be trying to get anywhere or have to be anywhere or things like that. Like I know, okay, like I'm going to be home for the next 4 hours. I could eat and not have to worry about it. Because the worst is like eating, and then you got to go to the bathroom, and then you're freaking in the middle of God knows where, and you got to use some weird ass bathroom. Only one stall that barely closes. Nah, bro, I hate that. That anxious pooing, fuck that. I'd rather hold that shit. I'd rather shit myself, honestly, than like having to take a shit and someone's knocking at the door. Yo, you done? Fuck that. Come on. Alright, so we were talking about mistakes earlier. Remember I said you need the right size heat shrink, because this can happen if you use the wrong size. And right here I got a nice situation where this doesn't want to slide over. You're gonna have to like massage it. I think I can get it through, but sometimes it won't. And like if you have thinner heat shrink, this is 3-wall or 3-to-1 heat shrink ratio. If you use real thin heat shrink, once you go to pull it over like this, it could rip. But I got lucky. I was able to get it through. But alright, there's my harness, guys. So this harness we sell just by itself, because sometimes you can find a really good deal on the amp, so you can just buy just the harness. I have gotten people who have complained before, like, oh, like, why are you selling it for so much? Like, we sell it for $199. I think sometimes you can find it online for like $150, $149. So they forget that this comes with it, or they don't put any value on this. But you saw how long it took, and like, this has value. The time invested in to figure this out and to do it has value. So like, if you're doing this for the first time, I could see this taking you an hour. It usually takes about 20 minutes. I've been chatting, so I'm sure it took a little longer, but yeah. Alright, now we need a bunch of zip ties to clean this up, because if I send this to you, it just looks too floppy, like too messy. So the zip ties just help clean it up, and then with the stress of the wires, it helps alleviate some of the stress on every single wire, because they're all bunched together. Oh, Angel, the Hyphonics amp I showed earlier is for the Acura TL 9903. But I don't recommend getting it. I recommend getting the harness from us and then doing a kicker key. I think the kicker key will perform better than that. Those are just like, I think we have 2 left that we were selling from a while ago. They're probably like maybe 6 months old at this point. But the whole thing behind the amp was it plugs in where the factory amp goes, and then it gives you better bass. It's supposed to do 500 by 1 at 2 ohms, because it's 2 ohm stable. But I doubt it's getting there. But, I mean, you're welcome to try it, but I think a kicker key will do better. And they could use the same harness. But alright guys, so here is this. The only thing that's missing now are the brackets. So we normally put the brackets in this box, in this bag, but since we don't have the brackets because they're no good, we're gonna have to wait. Putting our security zip tie. This is just to keep people honest. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but there's some people who like buy the amp to test it or to try to figure out if there's something wrong with their car. And I'm more than willing to help you figure out with the amplifier in your car is the issue, but not with our products. So if you call, we'll help you through it, figure out the troubleshooting. But if you buy this and you cut the zip tie and you plug this in and you power it up, you have voided your return. So you can no longer return this. So if you're trying to use this as a troubleshooting measure, like I think my amp is bad, let me buy a new amp, let me see it, connect it up. Oh, it wasn't my amp, it's something else. That's not, once you cut the zip tie, you can't return it. So if you think your amp is bad, call us. I'll walk you through how to troubleshoot it. But don't buy an amp thinking that you're going to be able to just hook it up and then return it, because that's not going to happen. We turn on the front crossover because we don't want those woofers to play, the George speakers to play bass, but the rears we do want to play bass, so we leave the rear X over off. And then factory radio, we turn our level right to the second E. That's usually a good starting point. You can go a little higher, but I find that it's better safe than sorry. So our amp is tuned. Our security zip tie is in. So this is good. I need to go get screws. Alright, so my screws are here. So the only thing that's missing from this are the amp brackets, and they're super important, obviously, but they're not ready. I'm actually going to reach out to that guy and see what, if he made any progress. And then I'm going to box this real quick. So that and that. Yeah, this is my last 1284. This needs a bracket still. Okay. And then, remember this one's going to Canada. This guy paid $45 for shipping. So we're going to try to ship it the best way that we can. UPS, amplifier box. Signature. That's UPS standard. What's UPS worldwide saver? It's tomorrow. What do you think, chat? Should I? I'm thinking I'm gonna reach out to this customer. So I'm gonna ship this amp UPS because it's gonna require signature, so I can't ship it priority mail. If I ship it UPS standard, he paid 50 bucks. If I ship it UPS standard, it's only $27, so I can give him a refund of about 30 bucks, but it's going to take till Saturday 2/8, which isn't really even that far. But if I go UPS Worldwide Saver, he'll have it tomorrow, which is Friday, and it's cost $43, which means he won't get a refund. We'll just net the $3 or whatever it turns out to be that we make. Should I message the customer and to ask him which one he wants? Should I just go with the faster shipping option because he paid the full 50, so he was willing to pay it? Or should I choose a cheaper option and just automatically refund him and be like, hey, we're sending you $30 back. You're going to have your amp on Saturday. He's in Toronto, so what time is it in Toronto? Toronto time. Yeah, they're on the East Coast, so it's the same time. Alright, let's see if we send him a message. Is that too crazy messaging him right now? Yeah, I think it's a little too crazy right now. Alright, I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to send him a message in the morning and ask him what he wants to do. Alright. Let's see. What else is on here? Alright, we're going to make this... Nah, that's going to be... Let's make this backup camera harness. What is this? Oh, we saw that. And these are two brackets. The same ones. Honda Accord, Honda Civic. Yeah, same brackets. Okay. Alright, let's do the backup camera adapter. Pretty sure he said it was a 2012 MDX. One sec. Yep, MDX 2012. Alright. So if you want to change the factory backup camera in your Acura, so if you have an Acura with a factory backup camera, you can change the camera. We have the harness and the camera to do so. I'm going to make one for a 2012 MDX, but they're extremely similar for all the other Acuras. Bit. This is trash. Put this aside. Let's get started with this. So when it comes to these harnesses, these connectors or these terminals are very small, so you're dealing with very small wire. So to strengthen the wire when I'm crimping it and to verify that no crimps fail, I like to solder the wire before I crimp it. And it's just to add extra thickness to the wire and to make sure that when I crimp it I don't cut the wire. So I'll show you what I mean. So we're gonna take this. So you see all these little strands of wire, they're real small, they're hard to see. We're gonna solder right on top to make them a little thicker and a little bit tougher so that when they get crimped, there's no way you can cut through them. Hold on, this one doesn't have enough meat showing. Alright. So it gets a little clumpy, and that's what we want, so that they can really hold the crimp. Run with the crimper. This is my master. Where are my terminals that I need? Here are the terminals that I need. Let's get to crimping, baby. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm feeling like calling it an early night and getting some sleep, but I can't do that. We gotta get these orders done because we got bills due. But I am tired. Alright, so that's nicely and crimped. Let's move on to my next one. Should we put on some motivational words from the wisdom? Nah, I can't. That would have been too funny though. Alright, so that's crimped. These. Should we go David Goggins, who's gonna carry the boats? Or should we play Andrew Tate's You're Poor? Or is it You're Poor, You're Broke? One or two. Or should we listen to TD Jakes? Or some Les Brown? Or Andrew Tate go on a rant about how he's so much better than us because he has money. Alright, where the hell's the master? Then in the middle goes black, baby. And then at the end goes red. Alright, cool. So, now we gotta sit these in. Alright, chat, I'm gonna share a little secret with you guys. This right here is a 150 ohm resistor, and your Acura, I don't know when this happened, but your MDX and your TSX 0708 had the same navigation drive. Software inside of them is a little different, but the actual connectors and the actual drive, the physical drive, is all the same. The MDX has a backup camera from the factory. The TSX doesn't. Since the wiring is the same across both of them, they needed to figure out a way to know if there was a camera present or not. So what they did is, when there is a camera present, they add a resistance to a wire that goes into the navigation drive. So it's called Camera Adapt, and it's a resistor of 150 ohms built into the camera that, when it's there, will enable the backup camera to show, and when it's not there, even if you go in reverse, the backup camera won't show. And that's what that little green harness that we sell is, and that's what these are. These have the resistor, and they also have the proper connections, and they're pinned correctly. So we've never shared that before. You guys are the only ones that knows, or anyone who watches this live stream at some point. But that's what it's gonna take to get the OEM screen or navigation to recognize that there's a camera. Because if you don't add that resistor, it won't know that there's a camera and it won't work the right way. But alright, this is all this guy ordered. So we'll throw this in a small little baggie. I don't have a smaller bag. Alright, so someone also ordered a camera, so we'll get that camera shipped out. Send this harness first. Where's this harness going? This is going to Ridgewood, New York. Come on, get the hell off me. Get off me, come on. Oh, bro, here. Ridgewood, New York. Envelope delivery. We paid $6 and it's costing $5, so we're good. Oh, got a freaking headache. What the freak? What is this? Oh, nice. Someone ordered male and female connectors. Alright, let's go and grab this camera. Fix the wrist only, so yep, exactly as it is. Check this real quick. Yep, everything's in there. I don't know why, but I like the boxes to look clean and neat. This is going to New Jersey. How much does this camera weigh? 10 ounces. And 555 deal delivery. He paid $6. It's $5.31. So we're Gucci. So ship that. Alright, then I gotta get some connectors. Haven't done any wiring harnesses yet, but I'm gonna get into those next. We just got some real complex wiring harnesses tonight, so they're gonna take a while. So if something's gonna take a while, I like to leave it for last so that I can just work on it. And like, I like to get the most stuff possible done and then work on the long stuff last. So these were out of stock for a while, but they're back in stock. Come on. If anyone ever cut your factory wires, this is the connector that plugs into the factory wiring. This plugs into your factory speaker. So if someone cut your factory connectors, you can put them back and you put your factory speakers back, or you could put aftermarket speakers. It's up to you. This wire's twisted. Are these the same length? Yeah, with the connectors. I'm gonna grab a different one just because I skipped some. Yeah, this is going to California. Alright, cool. So this is small and light, so we can upgrade the shipping and he still be covered. So now it's 2 days and it's $10. Alright, cool. So I have a bunch of subs in there. So 2009. What is this for? TSX sub? TSX sub. That was the amp. That's a TL sub. And then we have the brackets. Check the chat real quick. What's up, YouTube? Anyone just coming in to watch? We are shipping customer orders and answering some questions. So if you have a question regarding a product or something you're planning to install, feel free to put it down in the chat. Come on, don't do this, bro. Why'd you start doing this, bro? Alright, I need to put glue on this thing. How is it? Hopefully that takes care of that. There's like a little indent on the platform that causes this to stick, and it's so annoying that that's the little one edge that sticks. Everything else comes off pretty good. Starting to get other areas to stick. When that happens, it's because we need to reapply the glue. So now I take, almost fell back. I take this iFix, a little scraper. This is to open up phones, but it works real well at getting rid of leftover raft material. So you see, it just took it right off. This is the only part that's going to be tough. I have to be real careful with it to make sure that I get off the plastic I want and not all the plastic. So dumb that it's happening in this one little corner. Alright, so look, I got most of it off. There's a little bit of a ridge left, and that's where this comes in perfect. You gotta be careful though, if you're using something like this, it can cut you. It's sharp enough to like cut your skin. It's not like a knife where like it's gonna cut you because of the sharpness, it's gonna cut you because of the angle. But it works really good on 3D prints. Alright, cool. So we got all the leftover material. The only thing is, like, now that we scraped it so much, the color is off from the other one. So if you take some heat, it will burn off the plastic that you scraped up, and it'll help it blend in with the rest of the stuff. So this bracket's good. This bracket is good. Tops are good. Get some screws. If you want to install your own sub, that's when you buy just the bracket. Or sometimes you can find deals on other kicker subs. So people will buy just the bracket from us, but they'll get the kicker sub somewhere else. Alright, now I need speaker harnesses. And then I need some foam. What the hell is going on with this thing? Alright, so then each one goes with one of these. Let me get these out of the way real quick. And then we still need batteries. Where the hell the cutter go? Alright, Chad, I got another question for you. Do you believe in motivation? So there's like a whole thing about being disciplined, and then how motivation is bullshit, and then other people are like, nah, you need your daily motivation. The way I see it is, there's so much negativity in the world, and whether you're looking for it or not, you're always getting fed negative messages or stories about negativity in the world. So I feel like motivation or positive messages within motivation help counterbalance. But I don't think like you should sit there and like listen to Andrew Tate or whoever I wouldn't even consider him a motivational speaker, but whoever you go to for your motivation, I don't think you should sit there and be like, yeah, motivation, yeah. Like, it's just something to occupy your brain with better thoughts than Like it's like listening to a podcast, but it's instead of you having a thought about whatever they're discussing, it's more introspective into your life or like obstacles you're working on or things like that. So I don't think motivation is bullshit, but I think that if you try to carry actions out on just motivation, it's not going to work in the long term, and that's where discipline comes in. But I also think that people like overhype what discipline is. Like, you're not a machine. You're not going to be able to follow this strict regimen for the rest of your life. Like, you'll have periods where you are very disciplined. There'll be 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, but you can't stay. At least in my opinion, I feel like you can't stay disciplined for an extended period of time where it makes your life miserable. Like, there's got to be a balance. But I'd like to know your thoughts. What do you think? Is motivation bullshit? Screws, harness, yeah. Nobody answered my question. Out here talking to myself, dog. This is for a Honda Accord 2008 to 2012. This bracket is only 14 ounces, so it's under a pound. They are going ground, and it's a padded envelope. This is going to be Alright, cool. This one's going to Texas. For some weird reason, packages into Texas sometimes get delayed like an extra week. I don't know what's going on. I guess because the country's so big. The state is so big. But like, it'll get to Texas and then chill in Texas for like a week. And customers get tight. That like, you're like, hey, you said 5 business days max, and it's been 2 weeks. Like legit 10 to 14 business days. Only happens in Texas though. I wonder why that is. Because the state is huge, but I mean, you can still move mail around. Like, you have people who do that, so I wonder why it is. And it happens at the worst times too, like people with no patience. I guess, I mean, you have an expectation of when you should get your package according to shipping on the website, but then like once I tell them like it's something's going on with the post office, I don't get why they're holding, like they haven't moved your package in 3 days. They don't want to hear that. They're like, nah, you told me a week. And that's fair, we did tell them a week, but only in Texas does that happen. It's very strange. This one's going to Colorado. Alright, and I got 2 other subs. What are they? This is a TSX. The other one's a TI. Alright, I can't ship those yet because I lost track of how many subs I have pending and how many subs I am getting. I checked my invoice. I should be getting like 40 subs, but we have some back orders and they're coming staggered. So we'll have enough, but I don't know how many are coming tomorrow exactly. So I don't want to ship these and have these people waiting. Alright, so we got, I did that 4-channel amp. Did this guy order something else? This is the one thing he's ever ordered from us? Okay, that's strange. Alright, what is this? Sub. This is a harness and this guy answered. Alright, we'll get this harness done right now then. What did he say it was for? BE7ACP. Okay, cool. Alright. That was Mark. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Boss Radio 0406. Okay. Oh, that's yesterday. That's not going. Alright guys, so we wrapped up with all the stuff that's like partially assemble and easy to do. Now we have to do a bunch of wiring. On the wiring, we're starting with a harness for a 2004 to 2006 Acura TL. And we're doing it for a Boss Radio. It's a BE9 EC. Hold on, I wrote down the model number. It's a BCPA9W, which means it uses a traditional Boss plug. It just has a bigger screen and it is wireless. Hey, let's go. Somebody left us some good feedback. Alright, let's get started with this harness. First, let's take everything out of the bag. So, blue plug, main power, main speakers, steering wheel controls right in here. The gray plug is the amplifier turn on, the subwoofer connection, and the resistor to keep your navigation working. This guy, I don't know if he has navigation or not, but it's going to come either way. It's the same harness. And this is the AXWC. So, before we can wire these together, we need to do some prepping. So, on this, there's 4 wires. We only need 3 of the 4, so we got to remove one. So this has a gray and a gray black. This is our own custom harness. On the AXWC, you would use gray red. That's the wire. There's going to be gray blue and gray red. You're going to use gray red. They're going to be at this far edge like in our wire harness. So we take that wire out, and then we just re-add the zip tie. Depending on the year Acura, you might use gray blue. So the older Acuras use the gray blue wire. All your newer Acuras are going to use the gray red. You're doing multiple, so like if you want to keep your HFL controls and your navigation controls, then you can also use blue red and you can use gray red and blue gray. But we don't have that on video, but that's one of the possibilities. You can use it as 4 as well. Alright, I don't like how the zip tie is laid out. It has like my wires split poorly. Okay. So now the other wire harness we need to prep is this one right here. And to prep this one, we just need to remove all the speaker wires. So on your Boss, all the speaker wires are across the top. So this has 2 rows of wires. I'll show you in the front. It has a row here and a row here. The first row is all of the speaker wires along with your camera power. But we always remove these because if you leave wires in a harness that aren't connected to anything, people think they have to connect them, and then they think either something's wrong or their installation isn't going to work because there's loose wires. So we just remove them. Unpinning this harness is really annoying. You have to stick something in the face to get the pins out. So like it's like on each side of the harness, and it's just annoying. So what we do instead is I just rip them out. It doesn't damage the harness. It is a little like, I wouldn't say ghetto, but like not what you would think we're doing, but it just makes it easier to do this than to sit here and unpin. And if you ever need these speaker wire connections, or you need this harness for a different car, the radio you bought comes with this harness. This is an additional one, so it's not the end of the world if this one is missing the speaker wires. You can use the speaker wires on the harness that came with your radio. Alright, so all these are out. Come on. Whatever. All those are out, and now we need to prep this. This has a brake wire, which is the parking brake wire. It's going to be, I think it's actually pink, or it might be green. I don't remember if they changed them on the newer bosses, but it's going to go to ground. So if it says parking brake, you're going to hook it up to black, and it's going to go to ground. And this is for video in motion and other settings that you would be restricted from if you're not in park. This just makes the radio think you're in park always, so you can access all the menus. The other thing about a Boss radio is it does have two blues, so you need to pay attention where you're hooking up the blues. Blue white goes to the gray plug for amp. This is the factory amp turn on that's going to be turned on by the aftermarket radio. It says remote output, so these blue white to blue on the gray plug. Solid blue is your antenna turn on. This goes to solid blue on the harness. So solid blue to solid blue on the blue plug, blue white to blue on the gray plug. So just remember that. And now we need to hook up our AXWC wires first to our primary harness. You're just color matching red to red, gray to gray, black to black. And the gray will say SWC, just like that. So gray to gray, red to red, black to black. And then we gotta sleeve all these up. So when I say sleeve, I'm talking about heat shrink. I call them sleeves. I used to have a co-worker, one of my friends, who used to call them sleeves, and the name just stuck. He always came up with his own name for things. So I have some sleeves right here. So your thicker one goes for the pair of blacks, because there's two blacks, and then this thinner stuff you can use on all the other wires. I'm gonna need more of the slim one just because I have more wire. I think I need 7 pieces. That's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7. Alright, cool. So we prep these, we just add the heat shrink to all of them. Cool. Hey, let's go. We got a new order. What is it? Hey, subwoofer bracket. Alright, cool. Ship that shortly. Got a 25 CRV and would like to add a SAS Pioneer sub. Any tricks, harnesses you can offer? Thanks. Damn, brand new off the lot CRV. I don't even think my software has it, man. Hold on, I'll look for it real quick, man. So we have 2 things. We have something called Pro Demand, and we have the software from the dealer. But the software from the dealer is only for Acura. So I didn't pay for the Honda one. We don't do enough Honda. But I don't think I'm gonna have that info on here, to be honest. Do you know if the 25 changed body styles or if it's the same as the 24, 23, etc.? That will help us more. CRV. And what the hell is an SAS Pioneer sub? Seal. I'm not finding that acronym. Yeah, what's a also what's an SAS Pioneer sub? Because I'm not familiar with that term. Same body as the 24. Okay. All right. Is it a hybrid sport touring, or a sport L? What a freaking nightmare. Self-amplified. Oh, okay. I got you. So a powered enclosure is what we call them in the industry. It means it just has an amplifier inside. They call them powered enclosures. Okay, 2024 Honda CRV amplifier, baby. Oh, what the fuck? This thing looks crazy. Sorry, excuse my language. But this is for a 23, but you said it starts at 24. I've never even seen these plugs before. What is this thing? This one I have seen, that one I have seen. Just an EXL, no hybrid. Nah, it has to be a hybrid. Okay, if it's a 25, look, I'm going to make my software bigger, right? So that you can see what I see. So here's my software, right? I'm going to bring you right back to the top. So 2025, and then Honda, and then you said it's a CRV, so CRV, and then, oh, it's probably a 1.5. That's probably what I did. Okay, I did that wrong. So it's an EXL. We use this vehicle, and right here we're going to put in amplifier, baby. Amplifier radio, and awesome. No info whatsoever. There's a technical bulletin for something about the navigation. System setup. Blah blah blah. Alright, hold on. There's sometimes other ways you can find stuff. No. Let's go back home. Let's do radio instead of amplifier then. Yeah, I got nothing, man. It's too new where like the software is not gonna have populated yet. But he said it's the same body as a 24, so let's try a 24 real quick. Let's just say it's all-wheel drive because it really won't matter. And let's try amplifier again. Oh shit. Alright, look, we got some stuff. Let's go. Alright, here you go, man. So, I've never seen this connector in my life. It looks very weird. I need to see it on the amp to tell you if we have anything for it. But this has what? Outputs. Okay. This is what? Inputs. Yeah, this has RS40. This has digital communication, so you can't bypass this amp. It needs to stay in place. What is this? This is SPFID. Ooh. This has this, so you might be able to get away with the Metra part. This has it's optical audio, and Metra has an optical audio part for the Honda Civic that might work for this. If you don't want to use that because it might be pricey, you could tap the wires at your amp, and it looks like you're going to want A4. That's subwoofer negative, and subwoofer positive A2, which means they're going to be on the edge. So it's going to be white and red. So what is positive? Positive is A2, A2 is red. So there you go. So the big plug at your amp on the edge has a white and red wire. Red is positive, white is negative, and that you could tap to then send to a line out converter to put on your powered sub. I don't have a harness that will plug in there. Wire tapping is probably going to be your best bet. I have to see how many pins was it? It's 26 pins. Alright, we need a picture of it. So 20 24, yep, CRV amplifier, maybe. Oh look, someone has a video already on it. Okay. Yeah, I can't see what that plug looks like. You said self-amplified. Let me go to wiring diagrams and see if there is a version without 12 speaker system. 12 speaker system. Yeah, it looks like I only have the wiring diagrams if you have navigation. Radio circuit 205, 105. 12 speakers. What does it say? 12 speakers. Yeah, man. I hope that information was helpful. I don't have. See white and red on the edge here. Just undo this tape and you can tap them. There might be someone in Russia or somewhere who might have a harness. Sometimes they get these cars earlier and they do it. Oh, here's a cleaner picture at the connector. One sec. Man, it's not straight up though. Yeah, I can't see. I need a picture of. There we go. It's 24 pins. Yeah, I don't have this. We don't have this connector. So how many speakers do you have? That's really what's going to come down to. Because I'm not seeing any option. Alright, you know what? Let me get out of amplifier. Let me go to radio. And then hopefully I can get you better info. Because you don't have a factory sub then? Speakers. Oh, here we go. This one's the 8 speaker system. 12 speakers, 8 speakers. Okay, cool. So here's the information you're looking for. So this has the 8 speaker system. Okay. So you have a 7-inch screen, because what's the other 9-inch screen? And then yeah, so I'm gonna say you have the 7-inch screen. So then in that case, what connector is this? This looks like the standard Honda connector. Rear light, rear left. Yep, yep. Alright, man, so I think you can probably use this. Hold on one sec, I'll show it to you. Let me just go. Fuck you. I can't. This people on eBay take the most terrible pictures, bro. Honestly, bro. Honestly, I can't even see that. Yeah, that's the same connector. Okay. All right. So, can you confirm that your radio looks like this one? If it's a yes, then I have the harness for you. Okay. So, Metra sells this right here. Look, it is a AXLLC HN2, and since you don't have an amplifier, the signal coming out of the radio is already amplified, so you could send it to this thing. This comes with a line out converter. Aw, oh, damn. Alright, so then we gotta take this back. All touch with only knobs. Oh, because this one has buttons at the bottom. Yours doesn't. Alright, hold on. I don't see the one you have then. So yours is like this? Right? This is the one you have? I can't see that. I think there's buttons there. Yeah, I think that says home. And there's a volume. Okay, alright, cool. Alright, so then you have the 9-inch screen. So there's a hella connectors back there. But I think you have the same connector for power. Yeah, okay. What do these have though? Outputs. Okay, so this goes straight to your speakers as well. But is the pin out the same? So ground. A3, A4 is both powers. No, the pin out's not the same because this has double powers, double grounds. This doesn't have that. Alright, unfortunately for you, this product would have worked. This will plug into the radio. Your factory connection would have plugged into here, but this is pinned incorrectly. But you could buy this and repin it. I honestly think that's probably your best choice. because it'll make it easy. If you want me to try to do this for you, it's going to be expensive because it's fully custom. We're going to have to ship it back and forth a bunch of times. I can't tell you 100% sure how much it will be, but if you do it yourself, this is the product right here. And then I can email you this printout of this connector. I think I can grab all of this. So I'm going to print all this. Print. Yeah, so this will give you every single pin out. But you're only going to want... What do you mean can't? Oh, duh, you can't see me. I'm stupid, bro. My bad, son. My bad. So this is what I was talking about. This is the product that Metro sells. It's the AXLOC HN2. And it comes with a line out converter and this harness. And this is the harness I was telling you that will plug into your radio. And then the factory harness plugs into here. And normally this will plug straight into LOC. But yours is different. Your harness has a couple pins that are in the other location in this one. So you can repin to make it plug and play, sort of. Or you can just cut this up and make, like, you can make this work. It's just that one connector you're worried about because all the other ones take care of other stuff. They don't take care of the audio side. Yeah, this camera again. UART. Oh, for lane watch. Damn, this thing is complex, man. What do you mean for stereo amplifier? Oh, with 12 speakers. I got you. With 6 speakers, it's just... That's for the tuner. Yeah, you don't care about that. The USB data. Yeah, this is your best bet right here. Just customizing this harness. Because this has the right plugs. It's just a matter, like, one of the main differences I'm seeing right away, like you see this has yellow and black on this side. This one has then blue and pink. This has double yellow, double black. And then A5 is a rear left speaker, positive. That's still right. So it looks like the rest of this pinout is right. It's just that power stuff. It's up to you because you're going to have to do 4 wire taps if you don't want to do the harness. Then there's 4 wires right here. A5, A6, A7, and A8 that you'll have to tap. Here, I'm going to make my screen bigger. So right here. Why can't I highlight? This shit is so annoying. But okay, look. Here I can highlight. These are the 4 wires and their locations that you'll need to tap. So if you want to take a screenshot, here you can see the numbers. Those are the wires that will give you the signal. I don't know if all you're doing is a little powered sub. I don't know if you want to go through all this hassle, because those rear speakers might not have the best signal for a sub. Like now you're getting into like quality of audio, but if you just want some boom, you can make this work. And this thing's pretty cheap. I mean, Metro usually sells it for around 50 bucks or so. So 50 bucks, you spend some time messing with the diagrams. Can make it work. Come on, really. Alright, but I gotta get back to work, so let me get this harness going. Let me minimize this. My dog's TSX and not like I just has a TSX. Nice. I'm happy to hear that, man. I'm always here to help. I like to keep the Acuras alive. And like you see, like we do have like I have the know-how to create products for newer Hondas or Acura, so like I could make that harness and sell it. But like the amount of Hondas and Acuras being sold now just doesn't compare to other vehicles, and that's why other manufacturers aren't spending the time developing products, because like that CRV worldwide might sell a decent amount, but in the US it doesn't do as big as like a Ford truck will. So your manufacturers are looking at Ford trucks because they know those people will spend money on customizing their vehicles and audio upgrades, where like your Honda or Acura owner, you might be the only one who's looking to upgrade. Not just you, but like there's only a few. And alright, man, thank you, and yeah, look forward to your order. When it's ready, when it ships, you'll get tracking. You're familiar, you ordered with us in the past, so you know how it works. I might be making it on stream soon, so stay tuned. Right now I'm only streaming at night just because this is when like I'm actually able to focus on this 100%. During the day I'm taking customer phone calls, dealing with family stuff, the dog, so like I'm working, but I can't sit in front of the camera and talk. I have to be doing other stuff, and it's like consistently with breaks. So like I might work for 20 minutes, have to go do something, work for another 20, have to do something else, take a phone call for 15. So we'll get to streaming during the day though, once my schedule stabilizes a little bit more. The baby gets a little bit older. Alright, all these have heat shrink. Yes sir. Let's get this solder on here. Damn, son. That's a great question, and I want to play you something. I just don't know how I would do it. You gotta give me a minute to figure it out. But promise me you'll stick around, and I'll put the answer to that question, because I have a video for you. I have a customer who sent me a video. Oh, why'd you retract it? You don't want the answer, or you know the answer? I'm gonna play the clip anyways, and I'll answer your question even though you took it back, which is kind of silly. There we go. Alright, he put it back. Alright, I've got your answer, my friend. Let me get on the IGs real quick. Oh, motherfucker. I don't know my login. This is going to be the most ghettoest thing that I can do, but the computer I'm streaming on doesn't have any stuff logged in. It's just for streaming. So I have to pull up the clip on my phone to show it to you on this camera, which is ridiculous, but the best way to do this. Alright, where is this guy? Where is this conversation? Might have been a couple of... Alright, look, so there's this guy called Bradley. I'm gonna plug his IG so you guys go follow him. What the hell? How do I not follow him? Alright, that's him right here, look. Bradley, he put up a video of it, of how to take the wagon enclosure off. Hold on, I'm just checking stream, make sure you can actually see it. Alright, here's his video.
Hey, Acura Audio Garage. This is a 2012 Wagon Tech Package subwoofer enclosure. I opened it up, to my surprise, It's a 0.7 ohm subwoofer, which I have never seen before on any car. So I got the next best thing I could. I got a 2 ohm dual voice coil subwoofer, wired it into this other enclosure I have. I did positive, negative, and then positive, positive, negative, negative for the dual voice coils on the other one. And it wasn't nearly loud enough. I mean, not even close to how this old thing was. Granted, this was blown. So, kind of at a loss. I don't really know what to do at this point. I'm just thinking I should have gotten like a box from a friggin' audio repair shop or something. But I don't know. Do you have any recommendations? Because I just don't know what to do at this point. Hey, Acura Audio Garage. This is a 2012 Wagon Tech Package subwoofer enclosure. I opened it up to my surprise. It's a 0.7 ohm subwoofer, which I have never seen before on any car. So I got the next best thing I could. I got a 2 ohm dual voice coil.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to play that clip is he did exactly what you want to do or thinking about doing, and he was very disappointed with the Pioneer subwoofer. He has a Tech Package Wagon, and the impedance of that sub is 0.7 ohms. It's really like 0.5. So he got to 1 ohm with the Pioneer woofer, wiring it in parallel, and he lost half the power, so it wasn't as loud. It did fit in the enclosure. He didn't use the metal bracket. He just mounted it, but he was not happy with the result. You need a woofer that's going to be dual 1 ohm voice coils to get to 0.5 ohms for it to be an upgrade or something substantial that will sound like the factory. And the Comp RT sub that we tested did not work, so you can mount a sub on the back, or you can find a sub that fits in those parameters. They're out there. It's just going to be tough to find. It's going to be from some weird brand, but I hope that video answered your question. The Pioneer sub isn't worth it, but it will fit. You don't even have to use the metal bracket. You could just use the bracket that comes with the like mounted on the actual speaker. And if you hit me up on Instagram, I'll forward you that video if you want to see it yourself.
Subwoofer.
And then our Instagram is right here, Acura Audio Garage. All right, let's see this. Also, remember that was a Tech Package, so it has a subwoofer with the amp. If you have just a regular non-Tech Package, then you could probably get away with that kicker sub. I mean, with the Pioneer sub, because it doesn't need to be 0.1, 0.7 ohms. It could be just 2 ohms. Where the freak are on that? But yeah, if you look that guy up on YouTube, he posted a video on how to get the sub out. No one else has a video. I'm pretty sure we commented on it. Pretty sure I did. If I didn't, tag me. Yeah. So you're in the same boat as him. So you're looking for that sub. Let me finish this harness and maybe we could look together. Because it's like a very particular sub you gotta find. I think Focal might have something. Alright guys, so we always add tape to make the harness look better and protect the wires. It also helps with any rattle that may be introduced if this thing starts hitting something behind the dash. All the tape always starts at the top and works its way down to here, so if you ever need to undo the tape, you're going to start undoing it over here. The reason I could see you needing to undo the tape is if you need to add subs. If you want to add subs, you have to tap the blue wire, and when you're going to tap the blue white or blue wire, you might need to get rid of this tape. And again, this harness was for a Boss radio for a 2004, 5, and 6 Acura TL. They're all going to look like this. It's going to be these 2 plugs. And then The harness, the way they changed, this is always the same. This plug is different depending on the radio. So if you place an order for a harness, we're going to ask you what radio model, because we need to know which plug to use for your radio. And then your Boss and your Jensen, the steering wheel control adapter is right here. This says SWC. So that's where this gets plugged in. Normally this will get plugged into the back of your radio, but again, on your Boss it doesn't work that way. It just gets plugged into the harness. Alright, so this is set to go. But we need AXWCs. They're not in this room. I'm not gonna go get them right now. I'm gonna make a bunch of noise, wake the dogs up. But alright, before I sign off, let's look for this sub together. So we need an 8-inch sub that's slim. I'm looking on my personal laptop, not on the streaming computer. But if I find something, I will share it with you. Forum, dual forum, dual 2-ohm, dual forum, dual 2-ohm. Isn't there a Comp RT that has 1-ohm voice coils? Or it has 2-ohm voice coils? Yeah, you can get it down to 1-ohm. Alright, hold on. I knew Crutchfield wasn't the place to look. Go 8-inch subwoofer, 0.5 ohms. See what that returns. So that gave me really nothing. Dual 2-ohm. The Audio Frog woofer is what? Dual 2 ohms. Dual 2-ohm voice coils. So you're gonna get down to 1 ohm. Excuse me. Freaking getting tired. Alright, let's go 1 ohm voice coils. See what we can find. What are the voice coils on this American base? Come on, let me scroll down, bro. Oh my god. How does your website stop my scrolling? Come on. Impedance is dual 4. That doesn't help us. What did I say? Polk audio what? Single voice coil. That's 4.2. Morel. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Morel might have something. Polk audio 4 ohms. The Kappa, no. Comp RT, no. 4 ohm component woofer. This is gonna be tough, man. No one's gonna really have one. It's such a very specific speaker. How much does the factory one cost? Let's go Accurate Parts Warehouse. Let's go with a TSX with a 2012, and we got a 5-door tech, and then we want woofer ELS. What the hell? Where's this woofer? This is number 6. Okay. God damn, the OEM, yo, that's crazy. All right, look, I'm gonna put it up here. That's ridiculous, bro. Just friggin' buy a new car at that point. 39140 dash TL7 TL7 dash A01. So I'm gonna open this. Look at how ridiculous this is. Hold on, let me bring my camera up. Look at how ridiculous this is. So here's one used. Here is the OEM one. It doesn't even have the right picture, but by the diagram I know it's right. It's 6. Look at this ridiculousness. Who is going to pay that? That is crazy. But alright, so if we know that's what the OEM one costs, let's see what else we can find. Oh crap. Closed the wrong tab. Alright guys, I'm still looking. I don't have like a secret magic ball, like it's just Google Fu right now. Because we don't always get to learn about what woofers are coming out. Alright, let's check the actual website. So I'm going to check Audison real quick and see what woofers they have. Yeah, that wasn't any. Alright, let's check Focal. Single coil, double coil, slim. It doesn't tell me how many coils this has. Bro, where the hell are they? Four ohms. What are these? 4 ohms as well. Yeah. Damn, man, there's really not much out there for this like specific application. This has dual 8 ohm voice coils, but that's a 10-inch. We need dual 1 ohm voice coils. I remember there's a Kicker sub that has dual 1 ohm voice coils. Kicker dual 1 ohm. I imagined it then. No, yeah, here we go. But it's a 12-inch woofer. The 12-inch Comp RT 1 ohm. Alright, is there an 8-inch Comp RT 1 ohm? I knew it wasn't crazy because I remember I did it in a truck once. They stopped selling it. That's a piece of shit. Alright, but here's the one you want. It's a 43. Alright, let me open this back up. Alright, so I'm putting this on you, my friend. I know I shouldn't, but you're gonna buy this woofer and you're gonna try it for us. I'm just kidding. I'll try it. Somebody buy me the woofer. Actually, I think it's the same as the Comp RT. RT. This is the old part number. They discontinued it. I was like, yo, I'm not going crazy. I remember I saw it. That's the A2. This is the 8-1. What are they selling it for? Damn, no one has it. That's garbage. That's the A2. That's the A2. That's the A4. That's the A4. It's just such a unique sub. Like, who's gonna... Sonic Electronics has it still? Nope. Damn, so these things are gonna be like freaking gold. No way they actually have it. Alright, so I'm putting chat on Hunt, especially you, GW, calling you out by name, buddy. You're looking for this sub right here. It is the Kicker Comp RT 43 CWRT 81. It's an 8-inch shallow mount sub with dual 1 ohm voice coils, and this is what you want. This is what will work perfectly in there. When it comes to fitment, I remember the older RTs were a little shorter, so this might even do it for fitment, man. We need to get our hands on one. There's gotta be someone somewhere's gotta have one of these. Somewhere. Let's try it. Bro, I was trying to put that into eBay. Come on, eBay, what you doing? Damn, no one got one, bro. Alright, look, here's the part number. 43 CWRT 81. Does the 44. So Kicker, when they reiterate part numbers, they change the numbers in the front. So instead of 43, it'll be 44 CWRT 81. But I don't think they made a 44. I think 43 is when they stopped. Yeah, see, that part number doesn't exist. So you're going to need to find someone who has a 43 CWRT1. I don't think anyone in their mom is going to have one, honestly. My girl calling? No, she didn't. She didn't call me. Damn. I like how our ads show up because they know I've looked at them before. How old is this thing that no one has one? Because this says no longer available on Crutchfield. It doesn't say discontinued. Let's have a date. 2015. Yeah, this just might be old paperwork though. But that's the part number you're looking for. If you have a wagon tech package, that's the sub you're on the hunt for. I don't know who would have some, honestly. I think this thing is really old. But you want dual 1-ohm voice coils is what you're looking for. But alright, YouTube, I'm getting off for the night. It's 2 a.m. I didn't get as many orders as I wanted to get done. But before the night ends, I am going to play you some motivational words from my good friend Les Brown. Like I said, I think motivational is necessary because you want to have positive messages reach your brain, because there's a lot of negative messages that reach your brain. You have negative self-talk, then you have the world with its negative news, then friends, family, like everyone has their own shit they're dealing with. So some positive words to end the night, baby. I just gotta find the one number.
Life is hard. It's hard when you are 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week severance pay. And you gotta start all over again. It's hard when you are married and raising children and your children are crawling and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it and it doesn't work out, you lose. All right, repeat after me, please. I'm going to be fired up about my dream. I'm going to go at it with everything I got. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, you got what it takes. There are a lot of people who say, but I tried once or twice and it didn't work.
I can't find the words, man. I can't find the words. This is pissing me off. I'm gonna find it.
Life is tough when I lost my... You deal with the difficulties of it. No, life is gonna whoop you. You've got to believe in your ability. And patience, drive, it grows coming out talking to a guy out there watering and fertilizing the ground, then people gonna do that to you. And some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop. See, during those hard times, you know how you're gonna make payroll?
Alright, I'll leave you with the words about the Chinese bamboo tree.
For 5 years. The Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. They have to water and fertilize the ground where it is every day. And it doesn't break through the ground until the 5th year. But once it breaks through the ground, within 5 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall. Now the question is, does it grow 90 feet tall in 5 weeks or 5 years? The answer is obvious. It grows 90 feet tall in 5 years. Because at any time, had that person stopped watering and nurturing and fertilizing that dream, that bamboo tree would have died in the ground. And I can see people coming out talking to a guy out there watering and fertilizing the ground that's not showing anything. Hey, what you doing? You've been out here a long time, man. And the conversation in the neighborhood is, you growing a Chinese bamboo tree, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Well, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see ain't nothing showing. You know that's how people are gonna do you? So how long you been working on this? How long have you been working on your dreams? Good. And you have nothing to show. This is all you got to show. People gonna do that to you. And some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop. Because they don't see instant results. It doesn't happen quickly. They stop. Oh, no. You got to keep on watering your dream. And when it began to happen, they stopped laughing. They said, look. Whoa, look here. Look. Hey, man, you know, I know you can do it. Look, you got a job here.
So those are my motivational words for you guys. Chinese bamboo tree. You have to water it and care for it for 5 years, and then in 5 weeks it grows however tall. I'm sure there's something in your life that you're working on, and it's not instant, and you might have been working on it for a while, and there might be people trying to clown you about it. They only win, and they're only right if you give up. So do what you will with that. But I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna keep looking for that sub. And then I'll see y'all tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna... I probably will have to work tomorrow night, but I don't know if I'll stream. We'll see. I'm gonna say yeah, I probably will, but it might be possible that I don't. I don't know for 100% sure, just because it's gonna be up in the air. But I hope you have a good night. Hope you enjoy those motivational words, and get some rest.